Tonight we're going to be playing some Enter the Gungeon. Let's drop the volume a little bit. There we go. So, in Enter the Gungeon, there's 4 main characters you can play as. The Marine is good for fighting in general combat. His special abilities let him recharge his ammunition and make him deal more damage and reload faster. The pilot has the ability to get discounts at shops, pick locks, and carry additional items. The convict starts off with some really good attack items as well, with the Molotov cocktail and a sawed-off shotgun. Plus, if she takes a hit in combat, she gets enraged and deals additional damage. And the hunter also starts off with a decent combat weapon in terms of the crossbow, and has a pet dog that allows for them to randomly pick up additional items when clearing rooms. For the first playthrough tonight, we'll start off with the pilot. I really like the lockpick because it allows for me to more easily get additional guns. And away we go. A shrine to an old gunslinger. There's an encryption. Kill your past. You have already damned your future. The rest is worn away. So, Enter the Gungeon is a twin-stick shooter. On the bottom right, you can see your gun and the amount of ammunition you have left. You can reload at any time. You're starting off, your sidearm has unlimited ammo, but it's very weak. We'll go into the first room. So that red barrel there is an explosive barrel. As expected, if you shoot it, it explodes. There are 2 different types of enemies in this room right now. The first one is this floating book, which will cast various magic spells that look like different letters. Depending on the letters that are shown, the bullets will shoot in various ways. The other enemy there was just a regular bullet ken. They're sort of the goblins, goons of this dungeon. Not very smart, not very damage dealing. Whenever you first enter a room that has enemies, the doors will lock and you have to clear the room before the doors will open up. As can be seen up here. So we've got a bandana with bullet ken here. The bandana bullet kens have a machine pistol, and they're really good at firing off a lot of shots. Over here we have a wizard. The wizards can cast spells that mimic the faces of the PlayStation controller, so they can summon a circle, triangle, square, or cross. Another thing you can do in the game is you can flip tables. Flipping tables will generate a little shield that you can hide behind, and it will also destroy any bullets that are nearby. If you stand next to a barrel and hit the action key, you can kick the barrel and it'll roll. The advantages of this is that enemies will usually target a rolling barrel, so if you could roll an explosive barrel towards them, there's a good chance they'll shoot it and blow themselves up. We have a new enemy in this room. We have the blue shotgun ken. So how the blue shotgun ken works is it fires 2 shots in rapid succession from its sawed-off shotgun. These shots have a fairly wide spread, so it's easy for you to dart in and out of them. But they're fairly tough and hard to take down. Now this guy his ability is that he will slam his sword down and send a large spread of bullets towards you. The best way to deal with him is just to run circles around him and essentially circle strafe and shoot him down. Alright, so the floor that we're on right now is the Keep of the Lead Lord. In every Keep of the Lead Lord there is a room with a fireplace. If you put out the fire, which you can do with water barrels, there is a hidden switch hidden inside. Press the switch, and you can take a look at your map, and you'll see that a secret room is opened up. That secret room can be used if you have 2 keys to access an area called the Roguelite. Here we have a treasure chest. The treasure chest is locked. We have a key, but like I just said, we need 2 keys to get to the secret area, so we'll save the keys for now and try to use our item. So the lockpick gives you a 50-50 shot of opening a locked chest. In our case, it worked. So now we have the M1911, a classic gun. It's another semi-automatic pistol, but it deals more damage than our starter pistol. Because we're in one of the earlier areas, we're going to switch this to our starter pistol for now and save ammunition. Okay, so this is, I believe, the witch, and you can purchase weapons from her. The weapons cost a certain number of bullet casings, which are the or shells, which is the currency down here. You'll notice that there's a question mark next to the cost. If you pick one of these up, you'll become cursed. And if you're cursed, there's a greater chance of elite enemies spawning, which can deal a full heart of damage as opposed to the typical half heart. Since we can't afford anything anyways, we're just going to move on. Another thing I failed to mention is that in some rooms there's this revolver cylinder on the floor. If you go to your map, you can teleport to any of those locations. So in the future, we'll be using those to quick warp between areas on the map when needed. So the new enemy in here are these birds. So how the birds work is they'll spit out a large bullet, and then that large bullet breaks into several small bullets that will then fly towards you. It's pretty easy to dodge. So let's go check out one of the other rooms over here. So this is the entrance to the boss. We still have a lot of floor left to cover, so we'll come back for that. So we have another one of those wizards. The other trick that the wizards have is that they can teleport. So once they teleport, you have to figure out where they are again. In some rooms, you'll get enemies that spawn in additional waves. These enemies are red shotgun kin. They shoot a tighter spread of bullets, but they only fire once. And they have slightly less health than their blue bullet kin. So that's just a descriptor of the teleport points. So this is the shopkeeper. He'll always have 3 pickups for sale over here, and these are either keys, half hearts or whole hearts, or ammunition. We're going to pick up the key because we're going to want to try and get into the obulette at some point. But that's all that he really has. If we get some more shells, we might go pick up that second key that's in there. But I don't think we're going to get the 21 shells before we clear the level for that. So there are grenades in the Gungeon as well. The grenades, if they get too close to you, they will suicide attack you. So focus on them the moment you notice that they're around. There's a dodge roll in this game, and how the dodge roll works is for the first half of the roll, when you're in the air, you're invulnerable to bullets, so you'll just pass right over them. Okay. So this is a green chest. The chests are color-coded based on their value. If I remember correctly, and I might be wrong on this, brown chests are low-value items, blue chests are intermediate, and green chests are high-value. We're not going to open this just yet because, like I said earlier, the lockpick only has a 50% chance of working, and I don't want to accidentally jam the lock and be unable to open it. So we're going to do a quick search to see if there's anywhere left to clear on the floor. There's not, so we'll teleport to the boss, switch to our handy M1911, and fight the boss. The boss is the Bullet King. So the Bullet King has a lot of different attacks. It has this bullet hell type attack where it just spins rapidly and fires a lot of bullets at you. It can throw Molotovs. It has that attack where it generates a bunch of little bullets. Or it generates the big shot with a bunch of little bullets like the birds do. And it can fire 6 large shots as well as a flurry of those little flashing red bullets. The best strategy for dealing with the Bullet King is to circle strafe. Try not to let him box you in a corner because all of his attacks generate a lot of bullets. And keep a hand on the trigger, the dodge button at all times because you never know when you're going to need to roll quickly out of the way. Oh, I angered the Chancellor. So he also has a Chancellor. If you shoot the Chancellor will start charging you down. I've been ignoring him for most of the fight because he's really not that big of a deal. Oh. And the Bullet King is dead. So typically what happens is 2 to 3 pickups will be dropped. There will be a weapon or something else on a shelf here, and you'll get 1 to 3 hegemony credits. So the hegemony credits are long-term currency that you can use to unlock weapons and other equipment in the Gungeon. So the weapon we picked up is the banana, plantain. So the one thing you'll note about the banana is that it's a charged weapon, so I can hold it down and then fire it to deal extra damage. Bananas resemble guns and are high in potassium, a convenient snack and or weapon for Gungeoneers. So we can charge it and throw it. And the banana, when it hits a wall or other object, explodes into multiple bananas. So the banana is a good weapon for dealing with large amounts of little mooks. So we did not get enough money for another key. So what we're going to do instead is use our lockpick and hope for the best. And lo and behold, we lucked out again and got the Fortune's Favor. Fortune's Favor is a reference to Metal Gear Solid 2, I believe, where it makes enemy bullets go wide, so you can activate it, and it acts sort of as a deflector shield against bullets. An experimental device worn by a particularly lucky Gungeoneer. In the end, it wasn't enough to save her life, but it certainly extended it. So that's a reference to, I believe her name was Fortune, and I'm probably getting that wrong as well, from Metal Gear Solid 2, who had essential immortality due to being able to deflect bullets. Enter the Gungeon's full of lots of references to other games, other source material. Like most indie games nowadays, it's got a lot of references as part of it. So we unlocked the entrance to the obulate, and let's go in. Oubliette, sorry. I've been pronouncing that wrong this entire time. So, it's got little bullet ken that are sort of tweaking out. You can walk over them, and they die instantly. And there's a lot of garbage in this area. That should give you a hint as to what sorts of things you'll face in this room. Or on this floor. So, right off the bat, we're hit with a bunch of poison enemies. So that poison creep on the floor, if you touch it, it will deal a lot of damage to you. So typically, or it'll eventually deal half a heart of damage to you. So if you notice when I walk over it, I'll do it again in a brief second. So we'll kick this poison barrel to demonstrate poison for a second. So as I walk over it, you'll notice a green bar fill up. If that fills up all the way, I'll take half a heart of damage due to poison. So these little bullet fairies can have all sorts of different effects. So some of them will have regular bullets, some of them will be grenades, some of them will be shotgun blasts. It's important to prioritize based on which ones you think will be the biggest threat. Usually I go after the grenade ones, similar to what I was talking about for grenades, because they're pretty dangerous. In this room we have Sniperkin. So Sniperkin will target you with a laser sight, and then eventually shoot you. And in the middle here we have a Mushroom Man. Now the Mushroom Man is not a huge threat, but they do fill the room up with a lot of bullets. So you want to be able to give them a wide berth to avoid getting utterly destroyed by their shots. So we'll hang around for a second, collect all the spare casings, and move on to the next room. Grenade. So this bullet ken is a diseased bullet ken. And what happens with him is he spits poison. We also have another enemy there that we didn't get a chance to describe just yet. We'll talk about them next time they show up. Here we have a box. The box can shoot out spray. And then there's these other bullet fairy type enemies that shoot bouncing bullets, and when they die they spawn a couple of the little bullet fairies. Oh, we have two new types of bullet ken in this room. I'm going to switch to the banana because there's a lot of enemies. So, to talk about some of the enemies we just dealt with, the green bullet ken fires a slightly quicker moving shot and tracks poison behind them. There was a dark red shotgun ken, and they fire a V-shaped spread of shells that homes in, or they lead shots on you, so you have to be very quick about the spin dodge when dealing with them. And then the other enemy, which is showing up in this room as well, is the green slimes, or the poison slimes. So most slime enemies will spawn multiple little slimes when they die, as we're seeing here. In the middle of the room is a particularly annoying enemy that we are not going to get really a chance to deal with just yet, because I'd rather kite and deal with all the other enemies first if possible. Oh. So that enemy in the middle will fire out a flurry of shots in all directions, and the shots will spin clockwise. So you have to account for that spinning when you're making your movements. So we got the disease bullet Ken, we've got the bandana Ken, and we've got another bullet Ken there, the elite bullet Ken. So what the elite bullet Ken does is he leads shot. Similar to the elite shotgun Ken, he will lead shots. So you want to be able to juke and jive in order to avoid the shots that he's firing at you. Alright, the shopkeep's down here. We have a lot of coins, but it's locked. So, in order to even get to the shopkeep, we'll need to find another key. Hey, Luis. So we've got 2 more green Ken plus the diseased Ken. And another giant mushroom. Another note about the giant mushroom is that as you deal damage to him, some of his shots will start homing in on you. So because we're low on ammo for the M1911, we're going to refill that and then switch back to our rogue special. And blue shotgun Ken. So we're at full health. If you can't pick up ammo or any other sorts of pickups and you leave them on the ground, eventually they'll get stolen by someone from in the Gungeon. However, heart pickups won't get picked up, so you can leave those and then come back as needed for them. So if you remember earlier, we talked about how the Obulette has a lot of poison in it. That's something that we can also use to our advantage, because a lot of enemies, unless they're green in color, are not resistant to poison. So you can use this to poison them and hopefully get some good damage to them while dealing with other enemies. This is an oil barrel. If you have a fire item and you light this, it'll light up fire, and fire is essentially a faster acting version of poison. It'll build up really quickly and deal half-hearted damage. Oh, this is essentially a trap room, so you'd need to navigate through all of those in order to get to the exit. I don't feel like dealing with that just yet, so we're going to look for teleporters. And we're going to go back this way. Elite Ken and a ghost. So that explosion that I did just there was using a blank. Blanks can be used to clear all of the bullets in an area, as well as to knock back and damage enemies that are close to you. Oh, I'm getting hit quite a bit. So trying to save blanks and strategically use your blanks is key to avoiding taking damage, and this is especially important for boss fights. Okay, we have a green chest. I don't have a key, so let's try the lockpick. Hey, 3 for 3. This is a heart container. We're gonna get an extra heart as part of that. Memento Mori. Remember your mortality. Let's see, where else can we go now? We still can't go to the shopkeep, so let's teleport back up to here and go up. This is not working out. Let's just deal with the elite with a banana. That's a mini mushroom. So, as its name sort of implies, it's not quite as powerful as a regular mushroom, but it's a little bit harder to hit. Alright, so we got our poison jerks. Oh, that's a lot of poison jerks. Let's get a banana going and just clear them all out. Oh, this isn't good. Reposition. So the M1911 is a great gun for dealing with enemies because it deals a lot of damage fairly quickly. Alright, banana time. Okay, because I don't want to waste all of my M1911 ammo, I'm going to set it so that my hot swap just goes between the banana and the rogue special. And let's keep exploring. What do we have up here? Grenades. Gotta avoid the grenades. So because the grenade counts as an explosive, what happened there was it activated the oil, lighting everything aflame. Okay, we found the boss, but let's not deal with the boss just yet. There's still quite a bit of level to explore. First thing we'll do is go back a little bit to this side room over here. The lantern usually means that there's an altar, shop, or something of interest in this other room. So let's go in and see what it is. Ooh, a gun muncher. So the gun munchers are treasure chests that you can feed 2 guns into, and you'll get back a gun based on what types and power of guns you receive. I only have 2 sidearms, 2 guns at the moment besides my sidearm, and they're both pretty good, so we're going to ignore the gun muncher for now. So that takes care of that. Let's go down to the trap room and see if we can't sneak our way through that somehow. So there's the big rolling spikes, there's the spike pressure plates, and then there's the little ones. So let's go. Oh, took a hit. That was very careless. And what do we get for our trouble? A bunch of enemies. Alright, we got a bunch of casings. If only we could find a key. Oh, another thing blocked behind a key. Well, we don't have that, so we're going to try and open up this treasure chest. And we're 4 for 4 with treasure chests now. What gun is that? Ooh, the Scrambler is a very fun gun. I will show that off once we get back to the boss. And if we take a look around quickly, there is nothing really left for us to do but fight the boss. So what I'm going to first do is run back to that other room where our half heart is, pick that up, and then we'll go fight. I don't know. Not very, probably not a whole amount. I've not actually beaten Enter the Gungeon yet. So the Scrambler, what it does is it fires an egg that then spawns a bunch of little chicks that home in on enemies. So if I were to fire this at the wall, for instance, all the little 8 chicks would go home in on Blobulord. It doesn't really do a ton of damage, though, and it only has 1 shot. So we're going to give the banana a shot for this. Banana doesn't seem to be doing very much damage either, so we're going to switch to our mainstay for boss fights, the M1911. So Blobulord's got a lot of different attacks. It's got that attack that we just saw there where it spawns a bunch of little slime bullets. It has sort of a random spray. It has attacks where it shoots out a just wave of shots. And there's this one where it goes into a little spot and it will spawn little mini blobs that will move out and shoot at you. Or not shoot at you, but charge into you for decent damage. Most of the attacks can be pretty easily dodged, as long as you're paying attention. So like that one I was not paying very good attention and rolled in a very terrible direction. So now I find myself with 1 hit left. And needing to dodge as much of his BS as I can. Oh no, I'm trapped in the door. And again, a bad roll results in me dying. Rest in peace. So I'm going to stick with the pilot again for another run, because I like having the lockpick for the potential of getting some really good guns. So we're going to just do a quick restart. I don't have nearly as many hours in this as I have in like Binding of Isaac, for instance, but I've made it to the 4th level a couple of times, but I've never made it to the end of this game yet. Alright, so this room just has a bunch of bullet fairies of all various types. We got our shotguns, we got our grenades. The one drawback about dealing with bullet fairies is that they don't drop any casings, so no ammo, no money at all from that. So let's deal with the bulletkin first. And then sort of dance around this pillar while fighting this sword knight. Oh. That's a lot of grenades. Alright, but we got a decent amount of money from that. Let's go up. Strategic dancing around explosive barrels. Let us get most of the enemies take themselves out rather than us have to kill them. Ooh. This is a high quality chest. I'm going to just burn the key for it and see what we get. So we got the disintegrator. Let's see what it has to say about the disintegrator. The disintegrator fires a beam that decoheres matter into its constituent particles. The disintegration ray is outlawed on almost every planet with some form of government and feared by all beings made primarily of matter. It can be fired legally in only 2 places, the Gungeon and the waste disposal facilities of Populon 5. So the disintegration beam, you have to charge it for a very long time, but it fires a very powerful beam. We'll save that and see how quickly it mulches up the boss. Now, The black chest usually contains sort of powerful offensive items. There's a corresponding golden chest that's also giant, and that will usually spawn support slash health items. But it was definitely worth spending the key on. Alright, we got our PlayStation wizards and our bird. They're pretty handily dealt with. Nothing of interest in that room, so let's go south. Flip a few tables just because. Oh my god, that's like 6 grenades and 4 exploding barrels. That's a recipe for death. So this is a more traditional blob that'll split into 2 blobs and then split into 4 blobs once you've killed all the pieces. Let's see if we can use one of these barrels to kill a couple of them. And we can kill a couple more with the last barrel. And here we just have a couple of bullet kin, but quickly spawns in another mini blob. Let's recharge the ammo for our disintegrator because the ammo thing will get stolen if we leave it anyways. Oh, this room has a lot of things going on. Oh, that's a ghost. So the ghosts can teleport pretty much wherever and whenever they want. Well, not whenever they want, but they can teleport to anywhere on the map. And when they fire off their clip of ammunition, they will teleport to a new location on the map. Grenades. Oh, there's another grenade. So you notice that bullet kin retreating. Bullet kins can also flip tables and hide behind them. So if you notice a bullet kin falling back, that usually means that they're trying to fall back to a table. So it's a good idea to try and kill them quickly because it's usually hard to dig them out of cover unless you decide to dash around the table. That was pretty painless. Let's go this direction to see if we can't go around to where the entrance to the shopkeeper is. Oh, that was an explosive. Alright, so we can go up and we can find the shopkeep. And the medkit is a single-use healing item. Armor will take a hit for you. If your armor gets damaged, it acts as if you automatically used a blank. As usual, we'll pick up the key. I don't think we're going to be able to go to the obulette this time, or the oblulette. I can't even pronounce it even after seeing the name previously. We're not going to be able to get to the secret room most likely in this run because we already had to use up a key. So we found the boss. We'll come back to that later. Let's continue exploring from this cross-shaped room. In here, we've got some elite kin, or we've got a elite kin and a couple regular bullet kin. And we get another wave that's a mix of elite kin and bullet kin. And that hit was completely unnecessary. That was dumb on my part. The door's down there. That ammo's gonna get stolen, but we'll get a chance to show off what happens when you leave items as part of this. So this is a brown chest. Like I said, it's low value, so I don't mind using the lockpick on this. And you'll notice there's an X now because the lockpick failed. So what you can do is you can shoot or try to shoot. A little hard to do with such an inaccurate gun like the Rogue Special. But if you break a chest by bullets, you'll get junk. Junk can be sold for very low money, but a couple of items get stronger the more junk you have. Let's take a look around and see if there's anywhere left to go. So there's this room right here. Let's go check that out. Quickest way is from this teleportation point. Actually, while we're up here, let's just grab this half heart, since it's here. So let's pop down and then pop over to the right to see what's in this behind door number 2. Behind door number 2 is the access to the Roguelite. But like I said, we don't have 2 keys, so we're not going to be able to get into it. But we might find the second key, so let's just open up the shortcut anyways. Or open up the secret room anyways. And we can see it on our mini-map is actually very close to the entrance. So we've explored everything we can explore, so let's go down to the boss room, equip our lovely disintegrator, and have some fun. Oh boy, the Trigger Twins. So, the Trigger Twins, you want to focus on one of them at a time, if possible. And holy moly, the disintegrator dealt half of Smile's damage in one hit. Or Shade's damage, sorry. So the disintegrator is a wonderful weapon. So when you kill one of them, the other one gets enraged and starts moving more quickly. I should really be using blanks against this so that I don't have to roll and thus deactivate the disintegrator. That was relatively painless. Let's see what we found. Ooh. This is a great item. We found spice. Now, what spice does is we can eat it, and it'll give us a heart, and it'll boost some of our stats. We go to the... Oh, it's gone. Oh well. We probably won't see it again, so it's unfortunate that we didn't take the chance to look at it now. Let's go down to the second floor that we didn't get to see in the first run. So Chamber 2 is the Gungeon proper. This is where the game stops pulling its punches. So again, light means something of interest. What we have here is a shrine. What you can do is, this shrine is a weapon shrine. We could offer up our disintegrator at the shrine and it'll give us some sort of bonus. That is not happening, so we're just going to walk away. So we have the box enemy again, and what the box enemy does is fires that spread of bullets in all directions. It's good to take advantage of cover or dodge rolls when dealing with him. As always, the blue bulletkin isn't that big of a threat. They're a little obnoxious, but not too dangerous. Okay, we got grenades in the corner. Ooh, we got some of the charging bullets. These charging bullets will run at you and fire bullets off to the sides. They're almost like bullet bills from Mario Kart, from the Mario series, except they shoot bullets from the sides while they run at you. Oh, this room is full of snipers, which is just bad news bears. So we're gonna take advantage of the cover, do some dodging. And in the middle here we have a lead maiden. So the lead maiden will fire out a bunch of bullets, and then those bullets will reflect back towards the center. And it can only be damaged while it's open. So we have 4 rooms. Let's go south again first. And here we got a fireball. That was a sniper rifle to the face. So how he works is he will fire a bunch of shots in a arc around him. And then when he dies, he leaves a patch of flame where he died. Those enemies that we just saw were, I like to call them taser bullets. They electrify themselves and charge at you, and if they hit you, they'll damage you and knock you back. Alright, let's say we got a decent amount of money, so we can buy the little bomber. Yeah, why not? We're trying to show off guns, so let's buy that. Refuse to lose. So this is a chargeable weapon, and when you release it, it fires a bomb that'll bounce off walls and then explode. It's a pretty good, like, similar to the banana from last time. It's a pretty good weapon for dealing with groups of enemies. So you can do dodge rolling across gaps if you want, and that's one way to sort of deal with enemies if there's a lot of them. Die, wizard. So we'll take advantage of the desk flip in order to protect ourselves from the sniper rifle. Unfortunately, I did not pay close attention to the box and let myself get hit by that. Now let's recharge our disintegrator, because that'll likely be our boss killer. And then switch back to our regular loadout. And there's a whole heart drop, which is good because we had a heart of damage. And again, the brown chests aren't worth wasting a key on, so we'll try the lockpick and see what we get. Hey, we got a key and, oh, one more couldn't hurt. So let's read what it has to say about the spice. Spice is a tantalizing cube of power. It increases combat prowess with absolutely no downsides. A potent gun-enhancing drug from the far reaches of the galaxy is known to be extremely addictive and extremely expensive. The spice is indeed life. This is a reference to the Dune books. So what happens if we eat a second spice? So you'll notice we did gain another heart, but we also got that little skull above our head. So eating the second spice gave us another heart container, but it also cursed us. Like I said earlier, if you're cursed, that means that an enemy has a chance to spawn as an elite enemy, which will deal a full heart of damage to you with every hit, as opposed to half a heart. So building up a lot of curse is not typically good. I should have taken a hit there. I don't know why I didn't. But that's sort of the thing with the spice. Now that we've eaten 2 spices, spice is going to spawn more and more often. And there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. We're just going to have to accept our fate. Okay, let's see, what's... Ooh, explosive barrel. Nice. I see another explosive barrel over there. This room looks like it's one that's likely to have multiple more enemies spawning in. So the ghosts don't seem to be falling for the exploding barrel trick. So let's get away from the barrel so that we don't accidentally blow ourselves up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. That was good. We found the boss, but there's a lot of level left still to well, there's probably not a lot of level left still to explore. Let's go back to the shopkeep first and explore that room to the south. Now down here, you'll notice that this is a sort of shrine of sorts. Now, in the obulette, you can pick up what's known as the old armor. And it's a piece of armor that if you bring it to this room, it'll unlock the second secret floor. Since we didn't go to the obulette this time, there's nothing here for us to unlock. And let's talk to this guy for a second. Hey, you're looking pretty beat up. Want to take a break and come back later? Not this time, talking button. So you can hit that button to save your progress and back out and go somewhere else. The Prime Primer is one of the 4 essential components to build the bullet that destroys the past. We don't have the money for it. Usually it's very hard to get 110 casings by this point, unless you're not buying anything else. So let's go up. PlayStation Wizard. Oh. That's a grenade. That's a second grenade. This is fire. When in doubt, just roll a lot and you might be able to just avoid a lot of damage that way. There is another room over here. There's a second room down here. Treasure chest. This is a blue chest, so it's worth using a key on. And what we got inside is shotgun coffee. The shotgun coffee increases our running speed. Very useful for dodging bullets, but if you have too many of them, you may start moving much quicker than you can deal with. I believe that is everything. So let's go challenge ourselves a boss. Let's make sure that we have our handy dandy disintegrator equipped. And prepare to fight the rock snake. Amoconda. Amoconda is really obnoxious, so... Fortunately, we have this disintegrator that does not seem to care at all about the fact that usually the Amoconda is armored. So, by using up half of our ammo, we unlock the Staff of Firepower. We didn't find it, and our reward is more spice. So if we eat this spice, and of course I'm going to eat it, just one more hit. So we're currently at 5 hearts. If we eat this spice, we have lost one of our hearts, and we curse ourselves further. From this point forward, if we continue to eat spice, we will continue to lose heart containers. But because we've eaten 3 spices at this point, pretty much every pickup we're going to find from this point forward is going to be spice. So by eating that first spice, we've pretty much doomed the run, but that's okay. It's a roguelike. Dooming yourself to death is just part of the fun. So now we're in Black Powder Mine, where enemies are going to start to get a lot tougher, so let's switch back to our loadout. I'm going to keep the little bomber as my primary gun for this, because a lot of enemies here will deal quite a lot of damage. But the little bomber doesn't seem to be doing quite as much as I would like. Alright, what's up? Oh, the bubble bobble lizards. So what they'll do... Ooh, Totem Man. We'll deal with Totem Man in a second. But we still have to talk about those bubble lizards. So the bubble bobble lizards... How they work is... They will shoot little bubbles out from underneath them, and if you shoot the bubble, a bullet will fire out at you. How the totem works is the bottom totem will just ground pound and shoot out a wave of bullets. The second totem will fire shotgun type shots in random directions, and the last one will do sort of a spray and pray as if they were using a machine pistol. Not too dangerous. And here we have our first example of a elite or a jammed enemy. So if we get hit by a jammed enemy, we'll take a full heart's worth of damage. We don't want that. So we're just going to keep circle strafing. Fortunately, it was just a bullet ken. Bullet kens aren't that dangerous. Hey Greg, how's it going? Oh, this is a lot of bullets. Let's get out our little bomby. One of the big... Oh, I just rolled into the pit. One of the advantages of the little bomber is that it has quite a lot of knockback. So if we can figure out a way to dance past these bullet ken, we can use the little bomber to knock them into the pit. So let's go left from here. Let's see what we find. Oh, Cthulhu. So the Cthulhu is a newer enemy. I don't know too much about them, but it appears that their special thing is that they'll create little portals on the ground that will shoot additional bullets at you. Hi, Becky. Here's another locked door. I'm not going to go through that just yet, because we might find some cool treasure chests. So let's go up from here into a room with birds. And these ken will hide in the ground, and then they will pop out and fire a bunch of bullets. Okay, I'll hang around for a little bit. I was originally only going to play until 10, but I'll do like 10:30 or something. So we got a jammed enemy that's being powered up by this bullet pope in the corner, in the middle. So let's go deal with the bullet pope. Oh, his ability is to make an enemy jammed. That's interesting. So we have a lot of options here. Let's go south. Here's another enemy that I've never seen before. Looks like a Roboken. So let's see what he does. Oh, he fires himself kamikaze style. That's interesting. So we have an AK wielding bullet ken there. Not too much of a threat. Alright, we have a green chest. This is worth using a key on. And we got a Ring of Chest Friendship. Chest Friends Forever. So we haven't encountered one yet, but chests can become mimics. And if you walk up to a mimic, it will obviously attack you. If I remember correctly, the Chest of Ring Friendship prevents that from happening. Oh, no, never mind. I'm thinking of Chest of Mimic Friendship. Chest of Ring Friendship just increases the chance of finding chests. This is actually a really good item for the pilot because he has his lockpick that gives him a chance to open a chest for free. This looks like a room for a little bombing. That should have weakened them up a little bit for me. And we have another Tesla-kin. We got a PlayStation Wizard. We have the Shopkeep, and we have so many shells right now. Hey, look, we could buy more spice. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to buy another key, and we're going to buy the mailbox. How the mailbox works is you'll notice that there are two different types of ammo in the bottom right. And we're going to step outside of this room to test it, to show it off. So normally it fires letters. The last shot, however, it fires a box, and the box deals extra damage. So if you can strategically take advantage of the box... Oh, we've got another jammed enemy. The box will typically contain poison or something else that's hazardous. So strategic usage of the box, part of the package, is really good for trying to kill enemies. There are some pickups in the game that allow for you to reduce the amount of ammo you have per clip, and those are built for weapons like the box where, oh hey, another spice. Yeah, why not? We'll take another heart container of damage. And here we can hop in a minecart and go across in the minecart. Ow. So that enemy that I blew up there briefly was a laser enemy. So how the laser enemy works is it will fire either in up, down, left, right, or diagonally, depending on where the laser nodes are on its sides. We found the boss, so we're going to ignore it, as is the norm, and deal with a room with a buzzsaw trap. Buzzsaw traps aren't that threatening. Ooh, another chest. Let's use another key and see what we get. The Jolter, .95 caliber. And it's a pretty good assault rifle type weapon, so it's going to come in handy very soon. We're going to need much higher damage output on the next floor. Oh geez, that's a super scary enemy. Let's just kill him off right away. So what that enemy did... let's get our disintegrator charged. Oh, it's already charged up. Let's charge up Little Bomber then. So what the enemy we just faced, that wizard, generated a double-wide spread of bullets that would then home in on you after being fired. So it's bad news bears, pretty much. Let's deal with the box. Let's deal with PlayStation Wizard. And let's keep exploring. Okay, so this is a special area. This is an area where you can attempt to take advantage of where the candles are located to dodge roll your way across to where an item is. Because we're currently doing what I'm going to call a spice run, it's not worth the large amounts of damage we're going to take by accidentally rolling off cliffs. We have a lot more to explore over here, including this locked room. Let's go check out the locked room at this point and see what's behind it. Ah. It's the orc quartermaster. So he sells all sorts of items. He's got a laser sight, which allows for you to... You can typically use the right stick to aim. The laser sight will help you with your aiming quite a bit. More spice, which we can't afford, and double vision. So I'm going to purchase double vision, and what double vision does is it, if I remember correctly, doubles the amount of bullets that you're firing at one time. So for us with the disintegrator, that sounds like that could be a recipe for fun times. But we're going to save it for the boss. Let's see what's behind this last door up here. Ooh. What was behind the door was two pots that if you stayed in them for too long you would become cursed, as well as another Cthulhu. Let's go fight the boss. Let's get our disintegrator handy, as well as our assault rifle. And our boss for today is Cannon Balrog, I believe. Yes. Alright, let's throw down a double vision, and let's see if this does generate two... It does generate two beams. For a short period of time, at least. And so what he's doing right now is he is firing bullets that will bounce around in the area. For quite a while. And like that, Cannon Balrog was destroyed pretty easily, apart from one dumb roll. If I had done that without taking a hit, up here would have been a chamber, which would have given us another heart container. Instead, what we have is the icebreaker. So, typically it will fire ice shotguns, but you'll notice it has a special round at the end. The special round will fire a ice slug. So at this point, the game is about to get really hard. So let's stop using our sidearm and switch over to some significantly more damaging equipment. So we've made it to Chamber 4, the Hollow. One thing you'll notice right off the bat is that we have some ice. Another thing that we'll notice is that there's a sign above this entryway. What we can do is we can hop down and go talk to the elevator engineer and see what he needs. So he needs 4 junk. Didn't want to go back and talk to him. Let's see if we can get 4 junk on this floor. If you remember, we have one from earlier. We might be able to get a few more if we decide to just break treasure chests instead of taking the items. This room doesn't look too threatening, so I'm going to bring back out the rogue special. So what we have here is we have a... yeah, let's start getting our junk by breaking this. Oh. It gave us a key. We got some skeletons here, as well as a lot of Cthulhus because we've not been paying attention to them. And here in the middle we have a enemy that has a ball and chain. No, that was a very threatening last wave. The ball and chain will swing around and it will deal a lot of damage if it hits you. Well, it'll do half a heart of damage, but it is very easily dodgeable, so you shouldn't ever really get hit by it unless you're not paying attention. Oh, that's not a good. That's not a good. That enemy can summon undead. Alright, we got an ammo refill. Let's charge up our disintegrator. Let's switch back to our Joker. So despite the fact that I really should be using the higher quality guns at this point, if the enemies don't look too threatening, I'll still switch over to the sidearm to try and conserve ammo. Hey, look. Spice. How about we eat it? And we lost another heart. Maybe if we're lucky we'll get to kill ourselves by eating too much spice. So this enemy here summons a bunch of waves of shots. And that was the enemy that was summoning other undead earlier. Now, all these undead are probably spawning due to... no, they were just spawning because we didn't kill everybody. Oh, this is a room that definitely... So the Grim Reaper cannot be killed. So what we had to do was quickly kill all the other enemies, because he'll keep swinging his scythe and shooting bullets at you unless you kill him off as soon as possible. We have another treasure chest. I'm gonna blow it up because I do... Oh, bummer. I do want to try and get the 4 junk if we can pull it off. Oh, this is a large empty chamber. We're going to just ignore that. And then again, we're going to try and get another piece of junk. That brings us up to 2. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get another couple. Now we're running out of ammo for the jolter, so highlight of the stream: bad news bears. That's fair. Let's switch over to the shotgun because I'm running out of ammo for our good gun. Let's see if we can't find some more spice. Needs more wombo. There's not quite the same potential for wombo comboing in Enter the Gungeon. So that led back to there. I guess there's that room. And there's a lot of rooms here. So let's go to the room down here. Oh! I was not expecting him to run at me like that. Okay, so he summoned a super skeleton. That's not good. That's not gonna be fun to kill off. Alright, let's find that little bugger and murder him. He's not gonna die until we kill off his... Oh, he just keeps spawning. I need to teach a class on wombology. I don't know if they need a class on wombology here. Are you dead? Oh no, I have to blow up the head. Okay, well now I remember how to kill you. Cool, there's that guy taken care of. Let's go back up to where there were a lot of rooms. See if we can't get ourselves some more spice. We're gonna switch over to the mailbox. Give that a shot again. Yeah, no. Special delivery. Oh no, I heard enemies spawning. I don't want to deal with enemies. At least there's some poison there to maybe kill them off for me. Nope. Soften them up at least. So I could attempt this, but that'll kill me. And if you all want to watch me die, there are much easier ways for that. Like going postal. Castle Crashers knockoffs? What Castle Crashers knockoffs? Hey, we found the store. Ooh. Spice. Oh, I can't afford it. But he sells spice for 2 keys. Let's buy his spice. Oh, it won't even... Oh, I haven't used it yet. So let's buy off... Let's buy his spice and eat it. And we just need... How much? Oh, we just need 35 more, and then we can kill ourselves. The tall enemies I just faced. Drawing a blank, sorry. Anywho. I think it's time for this run to end. It's been a good run. We're gonna go out blazing. And I didn't even really put up a fight. Oh well. I died to the High Priest, having consumed 5 or 6 spices. It was a great drug run. You're right, Luis. The spice definitely flowed. I was 30 shells shy of murdering myself by spice. That's a shame. Anywho, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. Thank you, Luis, for joining the chat. Thank you to Greg for popping in for a minute or two. I'm sorry that I'll be leaving before you get to come back. And I'll join you guys all next week for another R's for Roguelike. Good night.